Hey you guys, check out this next video with Byron Donalds. Well, he's confronted with these woke protesters. They're all in his face and they're screaming issues after issues at him, not giving him a chance to answer. But when he does, check out how they respond. Have a look.
As a member, hang on, I'm sorry ma'am, but as a member of Congress, because I was just in DC on Monday for Trans-State Visibility, and I would like you, as a member of Congress, to rise up and support LGBTQ plus youth and stop this fucking insane attack on our children who know who they are.
Number one,
no. Of course you're not, because you're a fascist. You're a trace. You're a race traitor and you're a fascist.
And I asked you a question. I said I don't agree. And then you start yelling at me. You call me a fascist. You call me a race traitor. And you want me to agree with you? What are you talking about, ma'am? I'm a constitutionalist. Ma'am, I'm a constitutionalist. I believe in freedom and liberty for everybody. I believe in the U.S. Constitution. I believe in everybody's freedoms and rights. But if I don't agree, hold on. But when I don't agree with you, then all of a sudden I'm a fascist. That's what's wrong. If all you want to do is yell and scream and curse when I don't agree with you, I'm sorry, ma'am. You are now in the 20% of America.
You don't need to worry because you will never get my vote, and you don't live here.
I'm going to be your governor. Trust me.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am. Here's my question for you. Do you acknowledge the impact that Republicans had during the Civil Rights Movement? Do you acknowledge that?
I acknowledge the parties flipped. People moved. There was a migration of people between the parties.
Do you acknowledge that Robert Byrd, who was the dean of the Senate, Robert Byrd, who was a lawyer for the Klan, never changed parties, stayed a Democrat to the day he died? Do you acknowledge that?
In racially homogenous districts, they like social welfare programs, they like democratic ideas, but they also are racist as hell sometimes.
Do you acknowledge that the federal judge in Montgomery, Alabama was a Republican, appointed by a Republican, and that was the judge that overrode the laws around the
I know we got a lot of Democrats in sheep's clothing. I know we got a lot of Democrats in sheep's clothing, and they're going to get weeded out soon.
I'm not talking about Democrats. I'm talking about what Republicans did in the Civil Rights era.
We got rhinos. We got dinos and we got rhinos.
Can I ask you the last question? Which party actually supported the KKK?
I'm going to come to your district and register a lot of poor people. I'm going to register them. I'm going to get the felons that have had their voting rights taken away that don't even know they can vote still now. I worked on felons voting rights in Florida 7 years ago.
You ready? I'm
going to come to your district and I'm going to register so many people. I have nothing but time.
Do you remember the amendment about restoration of voting rights? You ready? I endorsed it. I supported it.
Thank you for that.
I did that because when you pay your debt to society, you get to come back and be in America. I believe that.
You know, kudos to Byron for even going out there and trying to talk with these protesters. But there's certainly a pattern happening here with Democrats. Whether they're out protesting or they're on a news channel and doing a debate or being interviewed or just having a discussion or a podcast, whatever it is, they just want to stick to their talking points. They really don't want to have a conversation or they don't want to be challenged on the position that they're taking. Because when a conservative talks to a Democrat, they want to go deeper. We want to have a discussion. All right, you believe in X, Y, and Z. Well, why is it that you believe in X, Y, and Z? Democrats don't want to be challenged, especially those who are out protesting, because it's almost like they're just out there protesting talking points, and they really don't even know how they feel about it. And I say that because they can never defend their claim. I mean, he's right. Byron's saying to her, you want me to change my mind and agree with you, but you are swearing at me and you're screaming at me. I mean, if you're protesting, at least in the good old days of protesting, you would, or the peaceful way of protesting, and you come across someone who thinks, opposite of you, discussions happen. And when discussions happen, maybe if you don't change that person's mind in that minute, there's a chance that you might have said something that would have that person go back and think about the issues that they're standing for. You know, when Byron asked the question about the KKK, what party supported the KKK, I've seen this question asked to Democrats in so many different venues, in so many different ways, and so often. And I never ever see a Democrat answer that question. Diversion, diversion, diversion. They don't answer it. They just say something else to hopefully deter the person who's asking him that question to talk about something else, like this guy did. I'm gonna bring poor people, a lot of poor people to go and vote for you. I mean, how racist is that right there? I mean, I don't really think the Democrats understand, at least to this level where they just want to scream out talking points and do not have the know-how to have a conversation around it. I just really think that they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're doing. And for him to divert and not answer the question about KKK, it's almost like the Democrats want that question, that time in history, to be buried so that Democrats are not put in a position to say at one time they were for slavery. At times during the time of slavery that they actually had a president, Abraham Lincoln, who was a Republican, who actually fought to end slavery. And that's why the Civil War happened, because Democrats supported to keep slavery alive and Republicans wanted it to end. But you don't hear any Democrats even wanting to talk in layers about that time in history, because Democrats were all about the things that Democrats today say Republicans were always for. Like, they always say we were racist, or they always say that we were against, the minorities and all that craziness that they just talk about. And another thing that pisses me off when you see people having a conversation, like conservatives addressing protesters, or even in interviews on TV channels and stuff, they want to ignore the fact that when Biden was a senator, he did so much. There's documented reports about his remarks. There's actually videos that shows him supporting and saying negative things against, not supporting, but saying negative things against slavery, against slaves, meaning in the area of supporting it. And if you look it up, it's like, it's all out there. But Democrats just want to keep it off topic and just want to stay to screaming and yelling in your faces and really not saying anything at all or achieving anything. And Byron's right. That group out there he was talking to is the group of the 20% right now in America who supports demolishing our country and actually keeping racism alive and keeping everything the way it is to not make it a better place for Americans to live.